Changemaker Central is an initiative of Arizona State University for which I am the former director. Changemaker Central is an initiative that is supported by Michelle Lyons-Meyer, the Memorial Union Associate Director, whose primary responsibilities are for guiding the students of Changemaker Central in implementing the initiative. The initiative is designed to connect volunteers, entrepreneurs, and socially engaged students under the pillars of community service, entrepreneurship, service learning, and high-impact careers, with the intention of inspiring, catalyzing, and sustaining student-driven social change. Do you see the students that you work with really meeting the objective of Changemaker Central?
Yeah, I think the issue of urgency is an interesting one because it kind of goes in waves. At the beginning of the semester, we spend a lot of time, especially this year, we spent a lot of time at our retreat talking about why we exist, how we exist within the context of a larger change initiative at the university, the New American University, and Changemakers' role in that being one of the key student-led aspects of that change initiative. And I think that by focusing on that, it really inspires the students' imagination about how they're part of a bigger initiative, and it gives them a great sense of pride. And then the challenge is translating that into, how do we create urgency around each of their individual projects or program initiatives so that they're tying it back to that. And I think sometimes we get urgent about the what and kind of like, oh, we have to produce this event and it has to be successful, and we forget the why. And so sometimes I find myself getting caught in that too, like, do we have the catering, and do we have this, and do we have that? And it's really important that we stop every once in a while and kind of reconnect to that sense of, why Ignite is part of our larger change initiative, and how does that change culture, and why do we do Changemaker Challenge, and, why do we do these things? And so, sometimes it's in small ways and just having people pause and do some reflection, and sometimes it's in other ways by connecting to other things like an Ashoka initiative that kind of gets people re-excited and reinvigorated.
Do you find that the team is able to maintain a consistent approach and direction?
Not always. I think sometimes, especially because we have such varied projects, some people are focused on entrepreneurship, some people are focused on our service initiatives. I think sometimes people get moving in different directions, and keeping that why in front of us kind of keeps us all rowing in the same direction.
Are you able to guide them to be able to articulate that why, an elevator pitch style?
In one respect, I'm personally really, really comfortable with it looking messy and having people struggle a little bit, but also bring their own experience to the articulation, if that makes sense. Because I think it's really important that people not just, memorize something and spat out, the official version of it. So I'm more comfortable with it being messy and evolving.
Does their leadership evolve? Does their confidence and their ability to propose ideas and experiment with them and really embrace failure? Do you see students evolving in that direction?
Absolutely. I think the 10K team is a really, really great example. So at the end of last year, we sat down with that team and we really talked about how we wanted to move away from that team focusing on a single platform to that team really thinking more about how are we creating a culture of ideation? How are we creating a culture where people can come up with new ideas, share them, refine them, collaborate around them? And, just recently we were talking about how difficult ideation is. We think, oh, just sit around and create ideas. It's really not that simple.
Are your change leaders and promoters gaining more influence? Do you see the campus culture transforming?
Sometimes we see it it's very obvious when we host something like CGIU and the entire university is aligned around your mission, really. Even though it's not under the mantle of Changemaker, you see Changemaker's handprint all over it. But I only see that the more I connect outside of that bubble, the more I see there's more work for us to do.